If you have a big enough purpose, if you have a big enough why, and you have enough fire and fuel with the passion, you're going to figure out ways to make it happen. Take advantage of every minute that you have in the day. I think oftentimes we think the whole week is just 40 hours. Really, there's 168 hours in a week. And so when we remove the 40, there's still so much more time. Even if you put another 40 on there for sleep, right? 8 hours or however many hours you need of sleep, there's so much time left that we're just frivolous with. We come home and we need to, what's this thing called? Unwind? Man, it's how can I launch a business if I have a full-time job? That's got to be tough, right? I'm already working 40 plus hours. How am I supposed to launch a business? That's probably what these guys who are listening to us, that's what they're thinking. Sammy, Brandon, sure, I want to launch my dream business, but I'm working full-time. How's that even possible? Look, we've been there too. We've had full-time jobs. I mean, heck, I have a whole family. I got 3 kids. I launched 2 businesses, working full-time with 3 kids and a wife, and still doing other stuff like, hey, don't forget to work out, right? And so we've figured out ways to do that. In this episode, what we're going to do, if you stick with us to the end, is we're going to get you a couple ways that you can implement the things that we've done so that you can launch your dream business too.
Yeah, if you're a slave, then it is going to be kind of hard to launch your dream business.
Elaborate on that, please, because
well,
we're going to get shut down on YouTube here.
You know, the W-2 job.
Oh, in bondage?
In bondage,
you feel like
slavery,
you have to be in, yeah.
You know, so it's just, you know, depends on what kind of manager you have. That could determine what kind of work-life balance you have, you know. And I remember I had managers that expected you to, because I used to be in leadership, and they expected you to stay 2 hours longer than your 8-hour shift, and that was the normal. I was like, this is not normal.
What kind of crap is that, bro?
I'm like, I am not a slave.
Yeah, I mean.
And really what it is just scarcity mindset shifting to abundance mindset for me. That's what.
Well, let's talk through the realistic situation of some of the guys that are out there, right? Like if you're working full time, you you leave the house maybe at 8 o'clock, you get into the office at 9, you work a full day till 5 o'clock, and you have a family. Like, how is this even possible? Maybe they are thinking about it and they're like, you know what? I don't need something extra to do. Mm-hmm. Let me just be okay with what I have. Yeah. And what do we say to that type of mentality? What do we say to that feeling that maybe these guys are feeling overwhelmed? How do I start a business? I got a full-time job. I got a family. I got things I got to do. Where do I find the cracks of time? What do we say to the mindset first? Let's talk about mindset.
That's what it is shifting the mindset into thinking abundantly. You know, we do have limited time, but you have to get good at time management, managing that time. Mm. And so I think you're a great person at that, and you have a really good system for blocking the time, still keeping harmony with the family and your health and everything else, and then still working on, you know, side businesses and those things. So
it's figuring it out. It's getting creative. Mm-hmm. I think if you haven't watched the first episode, go to the first episode, because if you have a big enough purpose, if you have a big enough why, and if you have enough fire and fuel with the passion, you're going to figure out ways to make it happen.
That's good, yeah.
Take advantage of every minute that you have in the day. I think oftentimes we think the whole week is just 40 hours. Mm-hmm. Really, there's 168 hours in a week. Mm-hmm. And so when we remove the 40, there's still so much more time. Even if you put another 40 on there for sleep, right? 8 hours or however many hours you need of sleep, there's so much time left that we're just frivolous with. We come home and we need to, what's this thing called? Unwind. Mm-hmm. And so what do? We grab a beer, we turn on the game, and we unwind for a couple hours. Yeah. And then dinner happens, and then evening time happens, and then we're still unwinding. I think the average time recently I checked, and I got to double check it. I should check it right now. But I think the average time is like somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 hours that an average person is on the screen every single day. And so what are some tips to help guys, I guess, alleviate some of these time sucks, you know, like watching TV, I don't know. Some of the, maybe playing video games. I don't know. There's all kinds of. Everyone has their own time suck that we can replace with a money making action, right? So, what are some of the things that you've done, Brandon, to do that?
Just take account for my time. So
Mm,
I have a morning routine that I will implement consistently, and that has me writing down the night before things that I'm going to do the next day. They're going to move my business forward. You know, it could be related to job stuff too, but ultimately we're here to launch your dream business. So you're going to write down the top three things that you want to get done the next day, and that for me works. I don't necessarily use a full-on calendar to schedule everything out. Um, but then time blocking and like Sammy said, going back to that purpose and that reason why and that passion, um, it doesn't have to be necessarily like a grind. I feel like
mm,
a lot of guys make it
yes,
like,
bro.
oh gosh, I have to do this. It's a grind.
Totally.
Like it's about finding that ease and that flow in the work that you're doing. Sure, there are going to be things that maybe you don't enjoy doing that have to get done, but eventually, with the vision, with having a big vision and thinking big, um, you'll be able to bring on other people that could free your time up of those things.
And that's the beautiful thing about doing your own thing.
Mhm,
Like when you start feeling fatigued, stop.
mhm,
We had a mentor who told me. I was asking him, hey, I need to get better at time management. I got two businesses. I got a full time job. I got three little kids. I got my wife. I got all these things. My health. I'm trying to develop my spiritual life. I need to get better at time management. He said, Sammy, you're one of the best at time management that I know. I don't understand. I'm like, well, I feel like I need to be doing more. And he was like, no, that's your problem. He's like, and then we started talking about sleep and like maybe if I sleep less and I wake up earlier. He's like, look, you don't have a sleep issue. You have a theological issue. And I was like, what? I was like, why do you always got to speak like Yoda, man? Like, just tell me what it is. And he's like, you think you're God. You think that an extra 5 more minutes on your computer at night in the evening is going to change the world. And it's not. There's always going to be more work to do.
mhm.
And I think that's something that men need to hear on this journey. And it's okay to just shut the computer.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we are going to recommend in this episode so that you can launch your business while you're working full time. If you have a family, if you're super busy, is have a sacred schedule.
Mhm.
And you can do it in the way that Brandon's talking about in time blocking and chunking out the day so you know in the general time of the day you're doing. In the morning, maybe it's personal time, meditation, workout time. In the afternoon, it's maybe working on your business, and maybe in the evening is family time. Maybe you chunk it out that way, or you can chunk it out literally hour by hour. Identify and account for each hour and stick to that. Make sure it's sacred. And when you're doing that, then I think you are empowered to say no. You're able to close the computer. And this is a habit that I've worked on, and seriously it's given me so much peace. I can't tell you how much joy I have some nights that feel like I got to get one more post out on Instagram. I got to come up with another piece of content. I got to come up with the blog for next week. I got to post a video to YouTube. I got to make sure I send this email. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to stop.
Mhm.
And it gives me so much peace because it frees me from the judgment of others.
Mhm.
Man, I'm not doing this for others.
Mhm.
I'm doing this because this is what I'm called to. This is what fuels me. This gives me joy.
Mhm.
And if it begins to rob me of that joy, man, I need to I need to shut down, bro.
Yeah, one thing, I was hearing you say in that, and I'm sure many of us men struggle with that is, I got to do this. I got
Mm,
to do that. You could change the wording and say, I get to do this because, hey, this is something that's aligns with my purpose and my
that's right.
passion. And, there's your reason why you're doing it, but also the bigger picture of, who you're serving with your business. That could be also a motivator for you to have the energy to pour the time into creating what you need to create. But slowing down is huge because I'm a big proponent of that. I'm kind of against the hustle and grind culture.
Yeah.
I know you say it's very popular.
Yeah.
But
No,
I'm,
but
I'm very like, my mindset is like,
it can't be one way or the other.
yeah.
You can't just be hustle all the time. You're gonna burn out, bro.
Yeah,
You're gonna
burnout. It's
just,
burnout.
It's gonna suck.
I've been there. I've tried hustling, having
20 years
working a full-time job, and then, and my schedule is like all over the place. So I'm like working till 1 or 2 a.m. trying to figure out business stuff, and it's just like exhausting at some points, and stress kicks in, and then the work stress, and it's just like, dude. So now I'm just like, chunk out the time, do the work, then go relax, get a workout, get some sunshine, go on a hike. Just get clarity, man. Just free your mind and get clarity.
I love it. No, look. Okay, here's the ultimate solution if you guys are listening to this. Partner with the opposite person as you. This is why Brandon and I work so well together, because Brandon wants to go on hikes and meditate and sunbathe his butthole and like do all kinds of things, life hack, biohack. And I'm like, bro, we gotta go. We gotta charge. I got 3 kids. I gotta feed. I gotta be at home by 8 o'clock. It's a good balance. And this, I think, can lead into this other point of, partnership and accountability and delegation. I think if you're after this grind all by yourself, you can get lost in your own universe.
Yeah.
Man, you're the god of that universe. Yeah. And there you go. You're stuck in that theological issue of, if I just do one more thing, I'm going to change it all. When in reality, man, you can just relax. You can take a break, or you can get some perspective by bringing someone else into that.
Yeah,
game.
you made a huge point, is not doing it alone. Entrepreneurship, it may feel like a lonely journey, and a lot of times it can be as the leader. But when you're, we believe, and we're big proponents of mastermind communities, mentors, coaches, is because that's someone we can go to where we don't have to feel we're alone in the journey.
Absolutely.
And, that will enlighten you and give you insight and awaken you to areas where you can then focus and have better results in.
Going back to accounting for your time, this is big. This is one of the things that is, I think, back to basics. When you want to get great at finances, what do? You account for your finances. Yeah. You track your finances. You create a spending sheet, a budget, if you will, whatever. And then let's call it this, you keep score. Mm-hmm. If we were to turn on the TV right now and there's a game on, the first question people ask is, what's the score? Mm-hmm. And the thing that I'm baffled with is men thinking that they don't have time, when in reality the scoreboard's not even up for their time.
Yeah.
We don't even know what the score is because you don't know what you're doing with your time. Yeah. I looked it up, and to just be accurate here, 11 hours per day the average adult male spends on media or screen time. 11, bro.
That's nuts.
So this is tablets, this is TVs, this is computers, this is video games, this is 11 hours.
What the hell are you doing?
Bro, so look, and then let's get some perspective on how many hours are in a week. Again, 168 hours in a week. This is one of the principles. So the first principle we talked about is sacred scheduling. Schedule everything. Time block or schedule everything. Make sure you're honoring that, and don't fall off of that schedule. I think the other thing is you can account for your time, and as you're accounting for your time, you can find these time sucks that are happening. Yep. Are you one of these adults? 11 hours on the screen? Yeah. What could you reduce that just like by 3 and spend 3 hours a week building your business? Absolutely, bro. Yeah. Absolutely. One of the things that we did is at the beginning, we had to build our business in the evenings. Yeah. Right. And so this is something that we did. We jumped on calls virtual. You live in about an hour and change away from me. Yeah. And we couldn't get together every single week. And so what we did is we set up a Zoom call on Monday nights, and we jumped on a Zoom call, and we spent an hour or two on every Monday putting in work. Yep. And it wasn't every single day. We didn't do it every single day. Yep. And I mean, what do you think that has done for us, having something consistent in the calendar for us to get together either virtually or in person?
Yeah, well, I remember those Monday nights, and I didn't get much sleep because I got so fired up and excited from spending 2 hours working on amazing stuff.
That's
and
right, bro.
My mind's like turning, and then it's like, oh gosh, it's midnight now, and I need to go to bed because I have to wake up for work in the morning. And
Damn it. The
time suck is the job. I'll tell you that much
for
right
real.
now.
Seriously.
And And you could be like me, I don't condone this, and but you know, I would be thinking about business, investing, entrepreneurship, you know, while I'm on the job too. You know, that was part of the neat thing of in sales is you get to speak to. I had the opportunity to speak to successful, sometimes, you know, wealthy individuals.
Sure.
And
Yeah, you were working at a high-end retailer, bro.
yeah,
Of
so I
course.
could use that to just explore how they got where they got to, you know, and just like, and that was cool, you know. And so I used that time when I shifted my mindset towards that. Like every opportunity I had, I could gain some wisdom, some knowledge that could move me forward in the direction, and I'm not wasting time anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man. I love that. And I want to talk about this other hack as well. So I'm going to give you just a suggested way that you can balance out your 168 hours a week, right? Let's call your excuses bullcrap, okay? So let's say you work 40 hours a week, okay? You commute depending on the individual situation. Let's allocate for like 5 hours a week for commuting, okay? So we're at 45. Now, what about personal life? This includes all non-work related activities such as sleeping, eating, leisure, exercise, spending time with family and friends. Let's put 56 hours there, assuming 8 hours per night for sleep. Personal care, eating, grooming, 14 hours, 2 hours per day. Leisure, exercise, family time, 28 hours per week. Hopefully you guys are keeping a calculator and you're calculating all these. What about building your dream business? What's left? Well, you can spend 15 hours dedicated time on building your dream business. And guess what? There's still 10 hours for additional activities and unforeseen tasks. What the heck, bro?
Yeah.
Keep score. You're not keeping score. That's what it is. You're not adhering to a scoreboard. You're not tracking your time. And you're just, what did they used to say on the football field? You're lackadaisical. You're horsing around. all the coach sayings of just like, stop dicking around, bro. Just stop wasting time. You're not accounting for it.
Yeah.
And so it seems like you don't have time.
Yeah.
Man.
Or you're following some influencer on social media that says they only work 2 hours a week and they make 20,000 a month.
Hey, I'm still trying to
And
figure that one out, bro.
And they're lying. So get off social media and stop listening to them.
Except for, don't stop following us.
Well, I don't say stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, we tell the truth. The last thing that we want to talk about is, again, I think it's kind of a life hack that I did over the last, I would say, maybe 5-7 years. Mm-hmm. And what it is it's start to shift your mindset and your actual life from working traditional jobs. Mm-hmm. If you have to have a job, like I had kids, my oldest is 9. I built 2 businesses having kids. Okay, so I understand having consistent income, having benefits and healthcare and all that stuff. I get it. And there's bills and there's rent and there's mortgages. I get it. And so here's what I want you to do is shift your mindset from traditional jobs. Do not partner, and I'm using that word intentionally, do not partner with a W-2 job that is only focused on hourly. Meaning you have to be in this building, sitting within this space in order for you to get your job done. If that is the case, start thinking creatively. Shoot me an email, shoot us an email, give us a call. Let's brainstorm something because I think traditional jobs need to die. What you should be doing instead is they should be looking for jobs that hire them based on their production. What's the objective? That's what you get hired for. And if you can find a job like that, then you can get creative.
Yeah.
Kill your job, perform at a world-class level, execute. And who knows? Maybe you have 5 hours, 3 hours left in the day, and you can work on your dream business after you've performed really well in your job.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I've seen you do it, man. You're a perfect example of that, and it's amazing. For me, it was a little bit different because I was at a spot that said you have to be here, clocked in.
Yeah.
And
they locked the doors on you, bro. Like, you got to stay in this building.
Literally, at the end of the night, they lowered a cage.
Yeah, if you're in retail, you know what's up. I've been in retail, so I know that's how it goes. But no, we really appreciate you guys, man, rocking with us on this podcast. Just to summarize, look, you do have time to build your dream business. If you have a full-time job, you can do it. If you have a family, you can do it. If you work retail, you can do it. We've done it. We continue to do it. Stick to these principles. Hold a sacred schedule. Make sure you're having some place to be accountable. Bring other people into the mix and then work on this creative work. Start partnering with companies if you do have to work that focus on objective and not just hourly. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you in the next episode.